National Junk Food Day. Give me your hungry, your gluttonous, your huddle masses yearning to find a low-priced all-you-can-eat buffet. Lady Gluttony. I am 20 Insanity. This is Liberty Insanity 56 National Junk Food Day, July 21st. And of course, National Junk Food Day would be in July, since July is also home of National Fried Chicken Day, National Ice Cream Day, National Friday. What else was a big one this month? National Hot Dog Day. Lady Liberty cooking some wieners on her crown with her torch. Okay, I'm going to show you some cultural artifacts, and we're going to talk about even more ways in which Lady Liberty is connected to junk food, which is defined as basically food of low nutritional value that typically requires little or no preparation. So, for all intents and purposes, we're going to look at some candy insanity, some soda insanity, and some fast food insanity. This is an insane little piece. It is the statue of Gluttony Piggy Bank from Big Mouth Toys. This came out a few years ago. I checked today, you can currently find it on eBay and Amazon, around $15. The statue of Gluttony, in food we trust. And it's a hefty little piece. And I always wonder, because I'm a student of Liberty Enlightening the World, and Bartholdi, it took him 20 years. It took him basically... Hang on, I gotta get something before the dog tears it up. BRB. Okay, I was just saying, Bartholdi, it took him a good 10 years to secure the funding for the Statue of Liberty and another 10 years to build it. So he had the idea back in 1865. He knew he was building something that would become iconic. He wanted to leave his mark. He wanted to build something memorable and massive and colossal. But I kind of wondered, did he anticipate so much parody of Lady Liberty? So here we got a full-size Lady Liberty holding a golden chicken leg and a box of donuts. I mean, he set himself up for so much parody by putting in all the symbolism, but more importantly, the crown and then the torch. She's got something in each hand. It's just so ripe for parody. Plus, she's just so iconic and colossal. So instead, in place of the tablet here, Lady Gluttony, the Statue of Gluttony, has a box of donuts, and like I said, in place of the torch, she's got a chicken leg. I'll show you this real quick. This is technically a toothbrush holder. We looked at it in Liberty Insanity 1, but I realized she perfectly could hold a Baskin-Robbins pink spoon. Not only, but also, it has a suction cup on the back, so I just put it on this container and then filled it with sprinkles, Jimmy's. It's National Sprinkles Day. I think it's like July 22nd. And then we're going to look at some pins relating Statue of Liberty to food. I also brought this one because this is a Family Guy pin, and I like this bank. I like the idea, but it sure did come across as Peter Griffin. And there is precedent. Peter Griffin as Lady Liberty in this New York Comic-Con pen. Alright, it's like 192 American degrees. Everything is failing again. I want to talk about some ideas, okay? Lady Liberty and food, junk food. We're going to start with candy. Because there in New York City at It's Sugar, the big candy store in New York City. They have a very large Lady Liberty made out of jelly beans. What turns out, you may have heard of the Jelly Beans Museum, which is all in California. They also have a version, I think it's just pictures are on the screen, a Lady Liberty made out of jelly beans. Then there is those museums, those social media museums called Candytopia. There's multiple locations across the U.S. And they all have some version of the Statue of Liberty. Typically, it's just a framed picture made out of jelly beans. But I did look up the one in the Mall of America in Minneapolis. They do have a large three-dimensional Lady Liberty, which appears to be made mostly out of taffy. So I think that's pretty interesting. Now, of course, there in Times Square, New York City, there is the Hershey's Chocolate World. And in plush form, you can find, the Hershey bar and the Reese's cup as Lady Liberty. But as far as anything I would want to collect, like a pin or a figurine, the best I could do is this magnet of a Hershey's Kiss. Now that shop, they do have a large, looks to be 10 or 12 feet tall, Statue of Liberty made out of Hershey's chocolate. So check out this photo. Now we all know M&M's World is also in New York City, and they of course have an enormous Ms. Green as Lady Liberty, and they've done well on their merchandise. I have probably a good dozen Ms. Green Lady Liberty products, which I'll show you on National M&M's Day in October. Now, just in 2020, a Sour Patch Kids store, first ever Sour Patch Kids store, opened in New York City. And they, of course, have the Sour Patch Kid as Lady Liberty within the store. And I think there's some boxes you can get, boxes to fill with Sour Patch Kids. However, they have yet to make any pins or figurines of the Sour Patch Kid SPK Lady Liberté. Candy and Sanity represent. Now, there's one more thing. I don't have the Tokidoki Lady Liberty sticker out here, but she is holding a lollipop. National Lollipop Day was yesterday. Let's talk about some ice cream. Because the Moshi Monster, Liberty, holds an ice cream cone. I have a pin of this too. Her name's Liberty. So I think she's got a tablet, but instead of a torch, it is indeed an ice cream cone. The Melty Misfit by Buff Monster holds an ice cream cone. Well, it is a scoop of ice cream personified. And then sometimes you see the Hello Kitty as Lady Liberty holding an ice cream cone. And finally, there is the Museum of Ice Cream in New York City. I think it's still operating, but I got this beautiful pin from their website. $10, museumoficecream.com. Now, just like Candytopia, they are in multiple locations. It's really just a social media selfie event facility. But the one in New York does have a pink Lady Liberty sculpture holding an ice cream cone. Now, why don't we just mention some sodas real quick? Because I found a t-shirt of Lady Liberty holding a Sprite. Weird. I found an image used in advertising of Lady Liberty holding a Coke bottle. Here's a picture of Lady Liberty on a Coke bottle. And finally, someone took a Coke can and twisted it up and made this little art piece of Lady Liberty. Soda Insanity. Now we could go and talk about some pizza. I thought for sure, with pizza being such a New York City icon, in addition to Miss Lady Liberty, I thought I'd find more examples of pizza, but there's at least one pizza joint out in NYC that have a standee of Lady Liberty. I think she's holding a pizza slice and maybe a pizza box. I found this Nike t-shirt where Lady Liberty's holding pizza and also a skateboard. And then here's another t-shirt of Lady Liberty sensually eating a slice of za. Very cool. Now check this out. Someone went and deep fried. They literally deep fried for this photo, a little Statue of Liberty. So it looks interesting. I mean, what's more American than the Statue of Liberty and, junk food? That's the whole point of this video. Showing you the connections I found. Then someone went ahead and made a Statue of Liberty. You see how we recognize the tropes? They made it out of a hamburger with fries as the spikes. A little, don't play with your food kind of tabletop photo shoot art piece. So good for whoever made that. Now, how about Liberty in costume, in cosplay, holding a hot dog and a hamburger? How about that? One in each hand. Because that's really the great American decision. Hamburger, hot dog. Here's a Liberty that was used in advertising where She's holding a hot dog and a soda. Very cool. Here's a little art piece someone made of Liberty holding an ice cream cone and a hamburger. Someone in Spain made this. You can buy it for $500. Then, finally, we come to mention the restaurant Red Robin, because I've never been to one, okay? Because I heard it was terrible. I thought they were going to go out of business, but it turns out, maybe comment below if you've been to one. It turns out most of them, if not all of them, have a Statue of Liberty in the restaurant holding a hamburger on the torch. A torch-lit hamburger at Red Robin. Very cool. Also, finally, here's a picture of McLiberty. This is not a real thing. It's just someone's, Photoshop work. Candy insanity, ice cream insanity, pizza insanity, hamburger insanity, junk food insanity, soda insanity. Good for you. Good for you. Okay. Similar to the Red Robin idea, I can't believe the Hard Rock Cafe in New York doesn't have like a Liberty sculpture in it. As far as I know, it doesn't. But they make all these beautiful pins. And here's a classic pin. This one's real easy to come by. Lady Liberty's holding the menu and holding a serving tray. Burgers and shakes and fries and drinks. Liberty Insanity 56, 20 Insanity, National Junk Food Day. Thumbs up. Goodbye.